Welcome to another episode of the Bamature Hour. I am Bama John. We've got Dr. T on here tonight. On this episode, we're going to revisit the 73-0 shellacking Alabama put on Louisiana-Monroe, and we're going to do upon further review. We've had time to look at it, think about it, and so we're going to go through that tonight and also talk a little bit about how this is the first step in a 10-step program to make the playoffs. So we'll talk about that. So today is, what is today? Monday, September 8th, 2025, in the year of our Lord. We've got over 4,000 subscribers to our YouTube channel, and we're still growing. So thank you, each and every one of you, if you've subscribed. If you are listening and viewing but haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And all you subscribers, hit the notify button as well. And if you're accessing the audio and streaming it on whether it's iHeart, Spotify, Apple, wherever you might, RSS, wherever you might be listening to us, we appreciate you. Like, subscribe, follow on those platforms as well. All right, Dr. T, good evening. I know you had a little dinner engagement earlier, but now you're on here to jump. So, hey, just jump in there. Give me your initial gut thoughts about the win, what you thought after the game, and then there's just so much to go through. But to me, it's a great celebration. It's a great bounce-back win. So jump in, Rick. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. Yes, my first thought was, where was that week one, right? I mean, that was great. We looked really good, top to bottom, offense, defense. We didn't even have to punt, which was great.
It's amazing.
Amazing. Kicking looked good. The push on both sides of the ball was great. I mean, it's a different team totally. I know it was different competition, but I mean, it was a different coached team in every aspect. So it was great.
How about this? We had the ball 11 times. We scored 10 touchdowns, kicked one field goal. That's your 73 points. Wow. Never punted once, finished it off every time, and shut them out. I mean, nearly flawless. There's a few bones I can pick, but nearly flawless.
Right. Yeah, nearly flawless. It was amazing. I did not expect that turnaround from the first game, but I was pleasantly surprised.
I think given the level of competition, we could have played, because we've seen this previously in these, call them the give me money games where we're paying somebody to come in here and it's a glorified practice. I've seen games where we played with our food, where Saban was mad after the game. There's always the South Florida game last year. Of course, they went and beat Florida, so that team was better than maybe we thought. But we were just on it from the get-go and just blew through them. Even when we brought the second and third team guys in there, they were on it. It was great. To me, it was an A to A+ effort in every aspect of the game. I can't really, there's two things I'll pick apart when we talk about the negatives, but they're very minor, but they're important that we do better. But it was incredible.
Incredible. The effort, as you mentioned, it was lackluster at best against Florida State. And this week, everyone showed effort. First string, second string, third string. It was just remarkable, really. The contrast was great.
So I call this our get right game. We got it right. We went out. The coaches coached them up. The coaches schemed it up. They had the right schemes. They had the right game plan. They got the players ready. And then the players came out and executed. It was masterful. I think our Wisconsin game is our get ready game for Georgia. And that's one that we got to have another great week of practice, all of that. But this was our get right game, and we did it. And can you remember any of these gimme games where we played any better than that under Saban or under anybody?
No, I cannot. And the score reflects that too. We never scored 73 points on anybody. And it wasn't like we were trying to score either. It was just, they were just running the ball at the end of the game and still scored. I think it was AK Deer had that long run toward the end. It was
beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah. No, I thought It was crazy. I don't understand. And I even saw Coach DeBoer. He was really coaching. I mean, he was even before the game. You may have seen that exchange where he and Tim Keenan were kind of quite expressive, talking about something. I don't know what, but I mean, they were engaged, and it was pleasant to see.
I love it. Now, I will say, and you and I were at this game. You remember when we went to Vanderbilt? When
Yes.
Alabama actually went and beat Vanderbilt?
Yes.
And
Yes.
and I think that score was 66-0. But I mean, it was an
Yeah.
SEC game. So we
Right.
were more focused on that. And the amazing thing about that game, and that's probably the closest comparison I have to this game, is Tua was in there as the backup to Jalen, and they went on an 11-minute drive and ran the clock out inside the 5-yard line and kneeled on the ball. And that was an amazing drive. I've never seen somebody do 11-minute drive and not score but run the clock out. So that's probably the only comparative game I have to this, where Vanderbilt was overmatched, just like Louisiana-Monroe. But I think that Vanderbilt team probably had a little more talent. They probably had a
Right.
few NFL, SEC caliber players. But that's the only game I can think of. And if you've got another example, tell me. But that's right. And that was an SEC game. So we needed to be geeked up for that. And that was a road game, too. And we'll talk about this later more. But DeBoer's got to show he can win big games on the road. He's still undefeated at home. And we need him to stay undefeated at home the rest of the season.
Yeah.
But that's the only comparable just beat down. And I think that was 66-0, wasn't it?
I don't remember, but I do remember it was pretty amazing. And Tua looked amazing in that game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tua hurts everybody, and that was a loaded Alabama team. So I just remember that. So a couple things I want to harp on. Coaching was so great this game. The coaching, in my opinion, lost us the Florida State game. I thought our schemes were bad against Florida State. And I don't know if I told you, I went and rewatched the whole game.
Yeah.
And I made a lot of notes. And offensively, in this game, it was pretty much 50-50. We had a great mix of run, pass, 50-50. And the passes, we utilized short, quick passes super effectively. I love Latsier Brooks in the slot, by the way. Is that Jalen Waddle or what?
Right. It's Waddle. It's Waddle version 2.0.
It is. And I mean, he's fast and built like Waddle and quick. And quite honestly, he needs to start in the slot, and Ryan needs to go back out wide. Did I lose you, Rick? Are you there?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here. Sorry.
Okay. I was just going to say, I think Ryan needs to go back out wide. I think Brooks needs to start in the slot. And I don't know where that means. Horton goes to the bench. Can't put Germie on the bench. And Ryan needs to be in there. But I think you got to have Ryan and Germie wide and put Brooks in the slot.
My
and
internet connection's unstable for some reason, but hopefully it'll be okay.
I can hear you, but the video's kind of, it looks like you're frozen up. But anyway, we'll keep talking. As long as you can hear me, that's good. What are your thoughts about Latsier and him as a starting in the slot?
Yeah, so pardon me, my internet connection's kind of unstable. I'm not sure why, but so if I do this, you know why. but no, I mean Brooks. I mean it's like again. I mean all season we heard how he was just like Waddle. We saw videos of it, and I'm thinking, why are we playing Ryan Williams in the slot when we know he is a wideout and he is very good at it? So yeah, I love it, and I think it was great for him to do so well. And DeBoer and the staff saw how good he can be in a real game. So I really think that's going to impact the future of the season as far as where Ryan does play when he comes back. I think what's going to happen is Isaiah Horton's going to get a little less time. And I think they're going to put Brooks in the slot and put Ryan and Bernard on the outside. So I love it. It was great.
And I do think on third and short or third and medium, where you got to pick up 4, 5, 8 yards or in the red zone, Ryan may not play as much. And you might have Horton in there because he's the big rangy guy, but Ryan doesn't want to go across the middle and get smacked. And Brooks will do it. I mean, he's that compact dynamo. So I think Ryan Williams is going to be more – he's going to play a lot when we've got the ball between the 20s. But when we get inside the 20, I think he may not be playing as much because he's not a throw it up and go get it kind of player.
Right. And you know what else? I mean, I think it was good. The silver lining to his concussion was he got to sit out a game and watch what effort looks like from like six receivers. And so he also knows, hey, we're pretty good even without you. So if you're going to play on this team, you better give maximum effort. So I'm really hopeful when he comes back, he'll play a little differently.
And I hope Grubb realizes maybe he was using Ryan Williams in the wrong place as well. And I
Right.
love the fact that Grubbs adjusted his game plan because we abandoned the run in the second quarter against Florida State, and that was stupid because they were playing a bend but don't break defense, and we got across their 40-yard line 4 times and came away with 0 points. You get
Yeah.
6 to 10 points out of those 4 drives, and all of a sudden we're right there at the end. So
Right.
I thought Grubb didn't put us in the best position to win against that. So I know we both have criticism of the players' efforts, but the coaches
Right.
have to put the guys in the right schemes and the right position to be effective. So I love the way Grubb adjusted the game plan and the preparation and got everybody ready, and then we executed flawlessly. So I really give Grubb probably a C for his schemes and and the way he abandoned the run. I give him a C or maybe even a D coaching in FSU, and I give him an A plus in this game. I mean, I don't know what else you can
Right.
give him, but an A
Right.
plus.
Yeah. I mean, which one's the real Ryan Grubb? Is it week 1 or week 2? I hope it's week 2.
Me
Um,
too.
yeah.
And make adjustments at halftime. I don't know what they were doing at halftime, but it seems like they just kept doing more of the same as what they did in the second quarter, and no adjustments. I didn't feel like Grubb was coaching for his job, whereas I think I expressed that I thought Kane is coaching for his job. But I thought so from the coaching standpoint, kudos to Kane Womack. You really did
Right.
adjust your schemes, and I give him an A for the way he schemed up the defense and got them ready because he put 7 men in the box. He put 8 men in the box. He abandoned this 4-2-5 scheme, which is only 6 men in the box, and we got torched by FSU. And he kept saying guys had seen this already. Well, clearly they haven't, or your
Right.
scheme stunk because guys didn't handle it. They were not prepared for what FSU threw at us. And hopefully he realizes, and we're going to see a lot of dual threat quarterbacks, that what he did against FSU is not going to cut the mustard, and we got to go a heavy 7 men and 8 men in the box against these rushing dual threat quarterbacks, and we've got to put enough guys on the line. Now, they've still got to execute. They got to set the edge. They've got to be aggressive. But when you have 6 guys on the line instead of 7 or 8, it's a whole lot harder to contain that dual threat quarterback, to set the edge on the reverse, to do what you need to do. And then you're 3rd and 11, and you leave our freshman Dejon Lee hung them out to dry against their fastest guy. Again, what are you doing there? It's 3rd and 11, and you let their fastest guy go press, get a press man coverage from a freshman that can't keep up with Squirrel White, and boom, next thing you know, they're on the 5-yard line and they score. So whereas I give Kane Womack an F for what he did against Florida State, I give him an A to an A plus for coaching it up, getting it right. I don't like the fact that he didn't own the fact that his scheme stunk and that he didn't set his players up to win, but the way he coached and had them ready, I think he privately was acknowledging that he had to do it. And I hope DeBoer was in his face as well. But, kudos on the coaching. They did a great job. I hope this is a sign that they're both going to grow,
Right.
do better, scheme it, not be set to one scheme, but you've got to adjust it to what the other team's going to do and be ready for different looks and packages and stuff. But I loved it. I was so fired up.
Speaking of coaching, John, did you have any objection to playing Austin Mack in one random series in the second quarter, or are you okay with that?
I was totally okay with it because I thought Ty Simpson was lighting it up, and I knew we had control of that game. So I was fine with that.
Yeah, the reason I ask is I heard DeBoer's press conference today, and he said that was all part of the game plan going in, was to give Austin Mack a series in the second quarter, which I'm okay with it, but his reasoning for it, I didn't understand. He mentioned how he said, hey, every other position on the field, we have competition and no one cares if we rotate in offensive linemen or defensive linemen or receivers. But he said on occasion, I like to do that with a quarterback too. And I'm thinking, well, you didn't do it last year when we really needed it. So I was a little bothered how you didn't do it at all last year when we really needed it. And this year we're on all cylinders and you pull him out. But anyway, I just wondered what you thought about it. But
it didn't bother me because I felt that even though Simpson was pulled out, that he could go right back in and just keep doing what he was doing. And I thought he was so good. And I actually liked Simpson having to deal with the adversity in that situation because there wasn't a whole lot of adversity in the game otherwise. Because we were just so much better than they are. And I will say we're as good as Florida State. That game, people were going to say, well, no, you're not. You got beat by 2 touchdowns. But I would say talent-wise, player-wise, if we play Florida State again in the playoffs, we're going to beat them.
Right.
I'm not saying it's not going to be a tough game, but we're going to beat them. And we're as good as they are in terms of talent now, but they're talented. I think Florida State may win the ACC. I really do. But, from that standpoint, we got out-coached like crazy. Norvell out-coached DeBoer.
Gus Malzahn.
Gus Malzahn ran circles and made Kane Womack look foolish. Foolish. And your players looked bad because you didn't have them ready. And Gus Malzahn didn't do anything we hadn't seen before. We weren't ready for it. And I don't care if he said we had seen it. You hadn't run those plays against our defense enough for them to know it without even having to think about it. So, and then of course, on defense, White outcoached Grubb because he got Grubb to abandon the run. And that killed us.
Right.
And so we got outcoached. We got outplayed. But again, I think the coaching led to the poor play because we weren't in the right schemes. And we got frustrated. And I don't know. I mean, what's Simpson supposed to do? Hey, they're in alignment. We can run the ball. Audible. And, if Grubb's telling him to do something, he probably wants him to run the play. And I'm sure it makes Grubb mad if Simpson's like, no, we got a perfect alignment to run the ball. I'm going to pitch it wide here, even though you called for me to take 5-step drop and they're going to have their speed rush and I'm supposed to throw a 15-yard play when I can get 6 yards on a pitch play. I mean, there were all sorts of situations when I went back and looked at the offensive side of the ball. It's like, well, why did we pass the ball there? We could have gotten an easy 5 yards or, could have thrown a quick pass for 2 to 5, which I love the quick passes in this Louisiana-Monroe. I love the use of those just boom, hike the ball, boom, balls out, let our guys make plays, be a distributor, you don't have to be Patrick Mahomes, just get the ball out quickly and go with it. I loved it. Thoughts on the coach? No, you're fine. Thoughts on the coaching and the improvement, because I thought it was a great improvement in coaching.
Was amazing. I think that team, top to bottom, last Saturday for Alabama, if they played Florida State again, they beat them.
And they certainly would be right in it at the end and not down 14.
That was much better than Florida State today. Saturday was amazing. So So I think that team, you might have heard me, but that team coaching down to the players Saturday was great. I mean, I think they would beat Florida State tomorrow if they played them again.
And what I'm excited now is what are we going to see this Saturday?
Right. Can we do we replicate it again? If we do, I'm going to feel so good about the rest of the season. Yeah.
And we get it at home, and we know that DeBoer wins at home. But, we need to not go out there and play with our food. We need to go out there and beat them by 3 to 5 touchdowns. We need to put it on them. And I don't know that we can play as flawlessly as we did in this game, but I certainly think we can get a B+, A- effort, and that'll be enough to win pretty handily, I think, because I don't think Wisconsin has the talent to hang with us if we play like we are capable of playing, and as we showed we could play this past Saturday.
No, I agree. I think we may not be able to have the same performance, as you said, A+ in every aspect, but I think if we play with a B+, we beat Wisconsin, I think about 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns.
And that's what I want to see. All right, let's talk about Ty Simpson. Your thoughts on his great performance?
Yeah, I think he looked great. I think he is the starter. He's the number one player from all aspects of heart and desire, and he knows the offense. He's tough. We saw that in Florida State, John. The way he ran the ball when we had a poor scheme, he still tried hard. I mean, he gave a maximum effort. I think we put him in some bad positions at Florida State, and so he really didn't know how to get out of it. And I just think as every game he plays, I mean, I know he's a redshirt junior, but it's his second game ever just 3 days ago. Second game. So I really think every game we're going to see a lot of improvement. I think against Wisconsin, he's going to make another step up. And I think hopefully a week off and we go to Georgia. I just really think he's going to have more of a command of the offense and of even just how to manage things like the clock and manage the huddle and manage. I just think he is going to be a whole different player every week. He'll get better and better.
I love the resiliency he had at FSU. This performance was incredible. I mean, just kudos, virtuoso performance. He was great. But at FSU, no turnovers with so much heat. And the fact that he kept the chains moving. Our offense moved. We just bogged down inside the 40. We kept bogging down because of poor play calling. Simpson had some mistakes, penalties, missed blocks. There were things that were execution and schemes and what have you. But Milroe would have turned the ball over 2 or 3 times. He would have taken bad sacks in that game. It would have been ugly.
It would have been. I think, like you said, there's so much good that Ty's done already in 2 weeks that I'm excited about the next 9, 12, 10 games of the regular season. I think he's already, his ceiling is a lot higher than Milroe as far as a true quarterback, and he's shown it. Like you said, I mean, I think our team, our coaching staff, put Ty behind the 8 ball in the Florida State game because of poor decision making from the coaches, and he still, like you said, he tried to make lemonade when he was given lemons, and he almost did. I mean, so I'm proud of him. I think he's going to be good, really good.
And the other thing I'll say about our quarterback, I love Ty, is if I don't want him to get hurt, but Austin Mack and Keelan both played well. We've got quality backups if something happens to him.
Yeah, I agree.
I got a lot of confidence in Austin Mack and in Keelan. If either one of them has to come in and take over due to injury, but I think Ty has got it. He's going to be the leader. He's good to go. And I just want to see him go out and put together another great no turnover performance, no bad sack performance. And do it again this week. So I'm excited to see what he does. Any other thoughts about the quarterback position? You want to say anything about Keelan or Austin?
And also the freshman Russell John. That brother has a zip on the ball, doesn't he? Keelan Russell.
He can spin it. There is no doubt.
He can throw it, man. He can really throw it. Sorry about the internet connection.
No, that's all right. You're back with us. What about the running back room? Any thoughts on what we saw out of the running backs?
My internet connection's sketchy, man. Sorry.
Okay, can you hear me, Rick? Now, have I got you with me? Running backs.
They look good too, man. We're like 6 deep. You know it? Like when the season started, I think Riley was 4th string, and now he's playing. He's almost like the starter.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jen Miller, I can't wait for him to come back, but it's like, man, we're doing pretty good without him. What's crazy is Richard Young was going to be the 2nd string guy, and he's kind of slowly taking a back seat. It's wild.
I think Kevin Riley's just showed how hard he's able to run and how quick he is and how effective. He seems like he's gotten the first team. And then A.K. Deere, that was phenomenal.
He's got a burst, doesn't he? He can run, man. He can run. Is he the one? I think Riley's the one they said they clocked at like 23 miles per hour and a couple times in practices. They have the speed, man. And I guess Jam kind of does all of it pretty well. So I don't know if Jam's any better runner than they are, but maybe he's good at pass protection and that kind of stuff.
I'll be interested to see if Jam plays this week. He's got to be feeling some pressure to get back on the field
Oh yeah,
or lose his starting job. So I'm real interested in that. All right, you want to talk about the wide receivers and Jeremy and Lutzier Brooks and we had multiple receivers shine. Any thoughts on the receivers?
man. Yes, a lot of thoughts. They're all so good. I mean, I'm so impressed. Brooks. Now, I even like Cole Adams. He mostly just does punt return now, but I think Cole Adams is a tough runner. He'd be good in the slot too. Horton. I mean, Horton's good, but he didn't do a whole lot in this game. Bernard's still Mister Steady. He is good. Ryan's Ryan. I mean, when he comes back, hopefully he'll be great. And then Rico Scott's really good. So we're just embarrassed by riches right here, right? With receiving core. They're really strong. I was trying to see if I missed anybody else on receivers. Yeah, Horton, good. And Bakwe came in at the end of the game, looked pretty good too. He pretty explosive. Bernard, Cole Adams, did Hell do much in that game? I don't remember.
I didn't really see him make an impact.
Yeah. I think Derek Meadows played a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, and then on the tight end side, my cousin Caleb Edwards, he got a touchdown.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, Caleb Edwards, yeah, tight end. He's a
That's awesome.
freshman.
Really? Yeah, freshman, 6'6", 264. Yeah.
Can't you tell we're related?
Yes, y'all look just alike. Yeah, for all of you guys who don't know John, he's about 6'7".
With the afro.
That's right. Hey, by the way, offensive line, I know you didn't mention that yet, but how about that freshman Carroll? He's competing now with Wilkin.
Yeah, he and Wilkin. I was going to bring that up. Is that he played well, and Wilkin's going to have to fight hard to keep that job. So
yeah, he may lose it.
He
may lose it because his name came up today in the press conference, and DeBoer said he was very, very impressed with what he saw out of the freshman. So we'll see. I mean, I think this week it's going to be some competition that position.
Well, and I think even the week, because you have the off week between Wisconsin and Georgia, and I think they want to get that solidified before we go into Georgia, because you can play around with the offensive line a little bit. There's a little wiggle room with Wisconsin. We got to be buttoned up when we go to Georgia.
Right. I mean, and right guard, they were subbing in Roberts and I think Vandermark or Newberry.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't think they're settled. DeBoer mentioned that today. He mentioned we're trying to find the 5 guys that we want.
Right.
That into the bye week and hopefully have their 5 guys for Georgia for the rest of the season.
Well, and we've got to have that line getting less holding calls.
Parker Brailsford, he is. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Go ahead with Brailsford. I want you to.
Brailsford is. We played offensive line at Auburn. He called our game and he said, "Man, this guy," he said, "the best of the team." So that's a high.
Yeah, he's going to be a first rounder for sure. That Brailsford, I think there's no doubt that he's going to be a first rounder. Proctor's going to be a first rounder. And I think a lot of people have a lot of expectations of Carroll in 3 years being a first rounder as well. So a lot of talent on the line, but they got to get it shored up and ready to go for Georgia.
I'm back. Right. Sorry.
Yep. How about on the defensive side? Have you got any comments you want to make on players that stood out for you on the defensive side?
Yeah, man. James Smith.
Good. He's a dog. He was just on it.
Junior. And he looked really good. James Smith looked great. I thought all the defensive players played better this week, better effort. The defensive backs looked better. Linebacker, I mean, Jefferson got that interception, which was great. We're just not getting good pressure. We're getting good pressure. We're still not getting sacks, which I want some sacks, man. I want to get the quarterback on the ground.
I don't know that we have a Will Anderson type player on this team. I just don't think we have that edge speed rusher. LT doesn't seem to have that.
No, he's not. And Clay Rusaw, I thought he'd be the guy, but he's just not getting it done. Um, um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be, just a numbers thing. We just have to keep throwing eight guys at the quarterback, and hopefully somebody can get the quarterback on the ground. But yeah, we don't have an all-star, and James Smith might be, he might be the closest thing to Jonathan Allen we have.
Right, or Quentin Williams, that
Quinn
type.
Williams.
And then when we get
Right.
Keenan back, hopefully that'll really shore up the middle, and
That's a good
those
point.
those two guys can collapse the middle. But I do, and two things that I'll throw out here now. One was the pass rush. We just don't seem to be able to get the quarterback on the ground and get those sacks. So I don't know what the answer is. I mean, maybe there's somebody in there that can come in on obvious passing downs as a speed rusher. I'm not sure who that is. I hope that player emerges. And then the penalties. I was disappointed in a game where we so physically overmatched this team that we had as many penalties. And once again, we had more penalties and more yardage penalties than Louisiana-Monroe, and that was disappointing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, understand it. I really don't. I'm thinking just one game where we have less penalties, just one. I don't get it, man. Like they asked Coach DeBoer today, do you practice? How do y'all practice to avoid penalties? And he really didn't know how to answer that. So he says we stress it every week. We don't want to have penalties. We don't want to live in the gray area. Don't give the ref an opportunity to call things like personal fouls. Just keep it clean, and it's just frustrating. I'm like, how are we more penalized than every single team we play? It almost becomes like an issue where the refs are looking for, you know how like Dennis Rodman, he would get called a lot when I feel like he maybe
Oh,
shouldn't
yeah.
have. And I feel like maybe refs are now thinking, hey, they're going to have a lot of penalties this game, so let's watch out for them. I don't know, John. This is kind of disheartening because I mean it can be that drive killers, drive stoppers, drive extenders for other teams. I mean, I really think we'll never know. With that Florida State, their first drive, it was going to be 3 and out,
I know.
and I think we might have just Grubb might have just gone back down the field again and scored. But they scored, and it was almost like when they scored, as Saban said about it. Saban said when they scored, the whole disposition of the coaching staff and the team just changed. It was like I mean, that penalty was huge, man. Um,
And
I
then
don't
later
know.
in the game, when Smith jumped on the quarterback, we had him down and we had him off the field again, and they scored on that drive as well. So
No,
multiple penalties to extend drives that led to touchdowns.
right,
We've got to be more disciplined. We've got to be more focused, and it's that aggression, but not out of control. It's
right,
play to the whistle, but not beyond the whistle. Play to
right.
the whistle, but as you get through the whistle, you got to stop so that you're not doing extracurricular stuff. If you take it, if you get beat and you grab the guy and you interfere, I can
Yeah,
live with that
I
if
can too.
it stops a touchdown. But the holding, the jumping off sides, the late hits, um, hitting somebody out of bounds, the retaliation stuff has got to stop. And do they not call that in practice? Do they not have officials in practice that are calling penalties and
I mean,
making guys run laps? How do you get guys focused? Those are the
yeah,
things.
I think John, you have to have some consequence, right?
Yeah.
If you make a poor judgment decision like these, where James Smith falls on the quarterback, he knew what he was doing, and he was hoping they wouldn't call it. And he wasn't surprised when they did, but he had no consequence. I mean, at least in the game, I think it would really work if you knew, hey, if I do something stupid, I'm going to go sit down on the bench for a while. You may not do it. But with this team, it seems like there's no consequence. I said it even last year, Malachi Moore. I'm like, who kicks the ball in the middle of a game? It's crazy.
That was horrible. And 2 years ago, guys would have been worried about having to go to the sidelines and have Saban all over them because
Right.
he did. He
Right.
would get in their face and challenge them and let them know how disappointed he is and how they've let their teammates down, and they wouldn't hear the end of it. And it seems like nobody on that team gets in the guy's grill when they do stupid stuff like that, when they do irresponsible, out of control stuff. So Again,
Yeah,
nitpicking,
like John,
but
who was the running back a few years ago that went to the Patriots? Remember
Damian Harris, yes,
Harris. I don't know if
yes.
you heard that story. He told the story the other day where he said, "Man, listen, I never missed anything. I was never late to anything." And one of his either junior or senior year, he said, "Man, I was late to a meeting, and I texted one of my friends on the team and said, 'Hey guys, I'm coming in late. I'm going to slide in. Don't make a big deal.'" He said later that day, Saban totally ignored him, didn't say a word to him at practice. And finally, he said, like a day or two later, I mean, it's a really cool story. He walked up to him in practice and said, 34. He said, why were you late? And he's like, oh my gosh. And anyway, and he said, hey, he got some type of discipline. I forget what it was, but he said, the reason I'm disciplining you, if I can't count on you to be where you're supposed to be on time, how can I count on you to do what you're supposed to do in the game? He said he got all on my grill and explained it to me. And today, like 6, 7 years later, he still remembers that. He said it influenced me as a professional player. I mean, these guys need discipline in their life and need consequences, and they may not know it, but they need it, and they'll appreciate it one day.
And if you want to win big games like at Florida State, at Georgia, if you want to win a national championship, 2 or 3 plays can be the difference.
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 plays. You get 2 of those drives across the 40-yard line and we punch it in the end zone, we're in overtime.
Yeah.
There were 6 or 7 big critical defensive lapses. You get 2 stops there, and that takes 2 touchdowns off the board for Florida State. We're tied. And that razor's edge, and that's why when people keep saying how poorly we played, it really was a narrow margin between us potentially being right there tied with them and getting beat by 2 touchdowns. And, things led to it. Poor schemes, poor coaching, lack of discipline. It all added up to a bad loss and what we didn't want. And I was so happy to see it corrected for this Louisiana-Monroe and to see the coaches. I want Kane Womack to feel like he's coaching for his job because, in my opinion, he is. I want him to do great. I want to see him do what he did this week in 10 more games. I want to see that kind of scheming, that kind of preparedness, having the answers to the test, not, oh, well, we knew that might be on the test, but you didn't know the answers. You weren't ready. Right. Same thing for Grubb. I don't think Grubb is on the hot seat like Kane Womack is, but I want Grubb to have more of a good mix, a 50-50 mix, and to have his team ready that if they put 8, 9 men in the box, we're going to have to throw the ball. We're going to have to do things to make them pay for pulling too many guys in the box. But when they only got 6 guys in the box, but they're going to, send a pass rush and they're going to rush our quarterback if we try to force a pass when they're playing, a soft defense that's geared to keeping us out of the end zone, take the 4 yards, take the 6 yards and keep punishing them and then get down to the 8 or 10 yard line, then see what happens. Not get stopped at 35 or the 40, and then we don't have a kicker that can kick a 55-yard field goal. So those narrow margins. So the FSU game was terrible in a lot of ways, but it was a lot It was a lot closer, and there were just like I said, 5 to 10 things you clean up, and we win that game.
Right.
And, I don't think a lot of people understand that, and then just how well they prepared this game. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So, all right, other thoughts about this game, and just anything that stood out to you as we.
Well, one thing you mentioned that I kind of forgotten about. I think Tim Keenan is. I think he was a big miss in both games, and I mean not the last game, but I think his injury hurt us more than any of the other injuries. I think him not being at Florida State was big. I'm not saying it was the difference maker, but he's a rah guy. He wasn't there. He wasn't on the sideline, and then he's also. I mean, he's a gap filler, man. He's 320. He takes one block, maybe 2 guys, and so I think when he comes back, and it may not be Wisconsin, I'm okay with that, but I think when he comes back full force against Georgia, I think he'll be back against Georgia. I really do. And I think when he's healthy, obviously it's one more man in the rotation, yes, but it's your starter, and it just when you only have six guys on the defensive line to rotate in, one is huge. One more is huge. So and he's also brings a lot of energy. So I think he'll help the other guys a lot that come in behind him. And I think he and James Smith are going to have a good year together. I really do. I'm excited about that. Another question is Keon Keeley. I mean, like, why can't this kid get on the field? He's 6'5", 282. You would think he would be a game wrecker, but he kind of reminds me of Ben Davis from Gordo, who's a
Oh
five-star
yeah.
recruit. Ben Davis never got on the field. I'm like, is Keon like Ben Davis? Can he just not grasp the defense or what? I don't understand. Because I keep looking for a guy like Will Anderson. I'm thinking, dang, Keon, you're 6'5", 282. You have all the physical attributes, but something's not working. I don't know what it is, but dang.
I hope they've got somebody they can bring in as that pass rusher, edge rusher that maybe we hadn't seen a lot of, that maybe will show out this week. But I want to see that. And then I do agree that if we can get Tim Keenan in the middle and with 7 men in the box and 8 men in the box, he can really blow up the middle. And if you can just blow up that middle and force two guys to have to take him on, that gives you a lot of room to deal with all these dual threat quarterbacks that we're going to see over the coming weeks. Gunnar Stockton can run. He's got some wheels. Then we got Diego Pavia.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think Gunnar likes to run. I mean, I think he prefers running. But I mean, I know he doesn't run all the time, but I don't think if you put pressure on him, I think Gunnar's gone. So we have to learn how to have gap integrity and rush the pocket like this, not here and there. And as Saban always talked about, when you have running quarterbacks, you just take the pocket and you collapse it like this. You don't just go willy-nilly running by them, because all of a sudden you have a lane and they're gone. They're
right.
gone.
Or you lose containment and they're on the edge and then they're gone.
Right.
And so you don't want to have to resort to a spy, but sometimes you just got to have a spy that's mobile and can move and can track them down. And we didn't do a good job of that at FSU. The quarterback this week, some mobility, but we'll see. I just want to see how we handle that. But we got to be ready for Gunnar, and then we've got Diego Pavia, and after that we've got to go to Bo Perbula at Missouri. Yeah. He's a running quarterback. Then we got to deal with South Carolina.
He's a running quarterback.
Yep, Aguilar from Tennessee can run.
Oklahoma, Mateer can run.
Mateer, we got Lenora Sellers. So, I mean, we're just going to have a slew. And Jackson Arnold. I mean, that's the best thing Jackson Arnold does at Auburn. So if we don't learn how to correct the mistakes, Kane Womack, of what we did to Florida State and contain those dual threat quarterbacks, and we did it this time. We had a lot of 7 men and 8 men in the box. We're going to have to do that against those guys and then just live with the consequences and hope the secondary can hold up and don't get beat deep. But we're going to have to deal with it. So I want to see. But we need Keenan healthy. Love the development of James Smith. Some of the other guys are getting some playing time. We need some depth. I'm excited. We're back. We can still do this, but our margin for error is much thinner. Losing that opening game, I don't think we can go 9-3 and make the playoffs unless a whole bunch of teams take a bunch of losses, and they really do monitor the strength of the schedule better this year than they did last year as a criteria to make the playoffs. I think we can only afford to lose one more game. I think we can do it, but it's going to be hard.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Florida State, I mean, again, I think we're better than they are, but hopefully Florida State they might go undefeated, which would be great for us. I think we only need to lose one more if at all. If you lose 3, it's going to be tough unless it's Georgia at Georgia and maybe at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's here.
No, we got Oklahoma here. So we got at Florida. We got at Auburn.
Well, about 3 weeks ago, we talked about our prediction for the season, and obviously things have changed, but I was afraid of South Carolina at South Carolina, and I still am, but I won't be surprised if Vanderbilt beats them this weekend. And Vanderbilt's playing good too. So
I'm going to be watching that game, and what we have Tennessee, Georgia too.
yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
going to be watching both of those games. I want to see what happens, but SEC's tough. But Vanderbilt beat Virginia Tech by more than what South Carolina did.
wow.
And so maybe South Carolina's good but not great, because I think Vanderbilt's good but they're not great.
No, no, they're good enough to beat you if you don't bring your A game for
Right,
sure.
right.
Is that game at South Carolina or at Vanderbilt? Do you know?
I think it's at South Carolina.
Yeah, because I mean, man, if they go in there and beat them on the road, that's incredible. 2 games.
Well, and that gives me a lot of hope. If Vanderbilt can go in there and beat
Right,
South Carolina and Columbia,
right,
we can
right.
do it.
We can
Because
do it.
we've got more dogs than Vanderbilt does. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Pavia, they've got some good players. This is not my Vanderbilt. And when I say my Vanderbilt, the pathetic Vanderbilt team that I grew up rooting for. And,
Right.
those are my miseries. I didn't grow up watching national championship teams like you did, Rick. So,
Yeah, I know.
but Vanderbilt was always so bad they would go. This was back when they'd play 11 games. They'd go 1-10 or 2-9, but they would never go 0-11. They would always find that one win somewhere. Like, can't you at least be, can't you at least lose all your games and be
Yeah, right.
winless? And they
Can't
would
you be
never do
perfect
that.
at something?
Right? Exactly.
That's funny.
And so this is not my mama's Vanderbilt team. This is a different Vanderbilt team, and I'm not. They may only go 7-5 or 6-6, but they're highly competitive. And hey, Kentucky gave Ole Miss all they could handle,
I know.
and Mississippi State beat Arizona State.
I know. That's
There's
crazy.
not an easy game in this conference, which is
No.
great, but it's just why. If all these teams beat up on each other, it's going to be hard for anybody to go undefeated in this conference or even to just have one loss.
Right. Right. Yeah, I was thinking, what if the top 3 or 4 teams have 2 to 3 losses? It's like, I mean, I think you have to put 3 SEC teams in the playoff. And so I would think I can't imagine just 2. I mean, what if the 2 teams that play in Atlanta have 2 losses and someone comes out with 3 losses? I mean, they're not going to the playoffs. I mean,
I think let's say we go 10-2 and we
right.
make the SEC championship game. We're going regardless of how we do there. So I
Yeah.
think that's what we have to do. We have to go 10-2, get into the SEC championship, because if we go 9-3, we still could earn our way into the SEC championship. But if we're 9-3, we got to win that SEC championship
Yeah,
game to get
right.
in. So
Yeah,
I think
I
that's
agree.
the dilemma. But I'm with you that a 3-loss, if there are 2 10-2 teams playing in the SEC championship game, whoever loses is still going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're right. So if we lose 2 SEC games and we're 9-3, we have to win that game. In Atlanta.
correct.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Now, what about this scenario? What if we're 9-3 and we're sitting out that game in Atlanta? Do we get to go, you think?
I think the problem is, what if you have Indiana with a cakewalk schedule that goes 11-1 in the Big Ten, and Penn State's 11-1, and Ohio State's 11-1, and
Oregon.
and Oregon's, they have all these teams that, because let's face it, the middle of the Big Ten and the bottom is bad.
Right.
I think the Big Ten in the middle and the bottom is weaker than the SEC, but I think they've got 4 or 5 really high quality teams.
Right.
So I think that's the hard part. And then they're going to want to throw a Big 12 team in there.
Notre Dame.
Yep, Notre Dame. But hey, Notre Dame losing to Miami, that was good.
Yeah,
That was a good
that's right.
thing. And
That was
so
good.
maybe Texas A&M beats Notre Dame as well, and you get a 2 or 3 loss Notre Dame team and they're out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
that's the hope, is that a team like Notre Dame gets eliminated. You only end up with 1 or 2 ACC teams that are credible and can go. One Big 12 team, and then maybe a South Florida, you throw them in. Then that gives a chance for 4 SEC teams to get in. But I'm not comfortable unless we're 10-2. If we're 10-2, we're in there. But we can do this. Our team has the talent to do it.
Right.
The coaches this week showed they know how to coach them up. But
Right.
can they do it? That was the brilliance of Saban. He did it every
Week in,
week.
week out.
Yes.
Right.
He
Right.
stayed on task. He did
Right.
not let, and okay, he would lose a game. He was famous for going 11-1
Right.
and then winning a natty.
Right.
And it is hard to go 12-0. I think in this day and age, with the super conferences and the playoffs and all that, I just don't see teams going undefeated and winning a national championship. Look at Oregon; they went undefeated and then they lost and got smoked by Ohio State.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be pretty common for a national championship team to have lost one, two, maybe three losses, but a two-loss national championship team is going to become a staple of what we see because we're allowing more teams in. And so there is a little margin for error, but I don't know. I'm going to make a prediction that we will never see an undefeated national championship team again in our lifetime.
Maybe you're right. Yeah. Before the season started, I thought we were going to be it. But I mean, yeah, you're right, John. I think the main thing I want to see now is we all know, as we talked about 3 weeks ago, we know we have talent
Yes.
everywhere. We're good at we're solid everywhere. But you're right. I mean, with DeBoer and his history, show me again. Okay, show me again. That's the greatest thing about Saban, as you said. I mean, week in, week out, we knew they were going to show up. The coaches, the players, they might lose sometimes, rarely, but you know it wasn't going to be because of lack of coaching, typically lack of preparation, lack of effort. But DeBoer staff, it seems like sometimes, like last year, they just took a week off, and I mean, like, what's going on? And so hopefully, what we saw Saturday is what we're going to see every Saturday. If they play with that effort and that quality of coaching and preparation, that quality of effort, we are going to be hard to beat.
We're going to beat Georgia if we do that.
Yeah.
And if they can make halftime adjustments as well, and they can tweak things. They've got to learn to make in-game adjustments and tweak things, which they did not do at Florida State. They didn't need to do it at Louisiana-Monroe because our schemes worked so well and we were so good. But at Georgia, they're going to have to make some tweaks at halftime because, look, last year at Georgia, we jumped on them, and then Georgia adjusted. Then they took the lead, and we got a miracle play from Milroe to Wyan Williams to get the go-ahead touchdown, and then we got the interception to stop them from scoring the go-ahead touchdown. So I would argue that once we jumped on Kirby 28-0, Kirby's team outplayed us and out-schemed us the rest of the way, and we won. But because we were so fired up about winning, people kind of missed that. And then we went into Vanderbilt just thinking it's old Vanderbilt. We're going to roll through them. And I don't think the coaches took it seriously enough. I don't think the players did. They were not ready. So they've got to do that. But if we do that, and the question is, can DeBoer win 3 of 4 SEC road games?
He hasn't shown us that he can yet. So we'll see. I'm glad it's not Georgia, Texas, and Texas A&M, but still, I mean, Missouri, South Carolina, Tennessee, right?
Yeah, no. So it's Auburn. We've got Georgia, South Carolina, Missouri,
and Auburn.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough, man.
It is. It is.
Wow.
I'm telling you, we don't have Mississippi State on the schedule. We don't have Kentucky, but even those would be tough.
Yes, they would be.
There's not an easy SEC team to play on the road. None of them are easy. There are no Vanderbilts in this league.
I know, not anymore.
Vanderbilt's in the league, but they're not my mama's Vanderbilt.
No, not my mama's. That's right. It's a different Vanderbilt, man. They scare me now.
Clark Lee is going to get hired away from Vanderbilt, I think. I mean, Florida may be in trouble. Billy Napier may be out, and you may be looking at Clark Lee going to Florida.
Wow.
And I wouldn't blame him.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, but he's a Vanderbilt alum, isn't he?
He is. And he actually is an alum from my high school as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a Nashville native and went to my high school and then went to Vanderbilt and is a Vanderbilt alum, but I don't think Vanderbilt's your destination coaching job forever because I don't think they're going to give him the resources to build the program like they would at Florida.
Yeah, he acts like it's his destination job, but I mean that's what he's supposed to say, right? I mean, he's at his school, and like in that documentary I saw on Netflix, he acted like he said something like, "I want to stay here and bring championships to Vanderbilt," but that's just not going to happen.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. No. And I mean, you say that until someone comes and offers you 20 million a year to go to Florida and restore
Okay,
the glory there, and then yeah, you're out of there.
that's right. That's right.
But
I'm not a
until
kid.
then, Vanderbilt is his destination school.
Right. Right.
But if he keeps winning 6 to 8 games, you look at what James Franklin parlayed that into.
That's right.
He won at Vanderbilt when nobody else could win and would have winning seasons and won bowl games, and now he's at Penn State and he's set up.
That's right for life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is. And I mean, Clark Lee's making plenty of money at Vanderbilt,
Right.
so he's collecting generational wealth doing that. But I'm
Right.
sure he wants to be at a program where he's got the NIL budget and everything else he needs. So, all right,
Can.
anything else? I know that it's getting kind of late, and I appreciate you jumping on here. What else, Rick? Give me your kind of final thoughts as we go through this. I'm still celebrating. I loved it. It was
Right.
a flawless performance. But quite honestly, I don't care in these road games if we play flawless. I want to win by 1 point. Let's figure
Right.
out how to win these games. How can we stay in there and not play ourselves out of the game
Right.
and get those? And that's what Saban was great at doing, is on the road, keeping the teams resilient and battling to the end and not making those game-killing mistakes.
Right.
And how do we do that? And I mean, I want us to play as close to that flawless, but we know at Georgia, you can't expect that kind of domination. But if we can play like that, we can win. I'm confident.
Yeah.
I'm confident we can win 9 more games and we can be 10-2.
Oh, let's go, baby. Come on. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, me too. I mean, after this game was over, I'm like, we are so bad. No, but I mean, I'm not sold yet. Like Missouri, the show me state, right? Show me again, show me again. So if we replicate that performance this Saturday, and then again, this performance and effort and coaching against Georgia, and then also with Vanderbilt coming here, at that point, if you do that 4 times in a row, I think we are back. But until I see it, you know, week in, week out, I'm not buying yet, John. I'm not buying yet that that's the new Alabama. We'll see.
So I see the possibility.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people felt after FSU there was no chance. Season was over. We had no chance for the playoffs.
Right.
So I see the potential, the possibility. I see what this team can be, and I see the possibility of how well these coaches can coach. But can they do it every week? Can they do what Saban was a genius at and bring it every week and do it throughout and get us to the playoffs?
I don't know yet. I'm not sure. Are you?
I'm optimistic. I'm
optimistic.
cautiously.
Yeah.
I'm
Cautiously
cautiously optimistic. That's my stance. It's
Right.
doable. We have the talent. I think we have the coaches. That's who I'm more concerned about is the coaching every week, not the talent.
Me too. Me too. We'll see. I mean, time will tell. We'll know soon.
It'll give us a lot to talk about, and I'm excited to preview Wisconsin and then talk about it afterwards because we're winning that game. We are winning that game.
Yeah. What I don't want to do, John, is be here in a week or two doing Festivus grievances again. I don't want to do that again. So please, let's not do that again.
We'll leave Festivus for the rest of us, and we don't want to have another Festivus episode.
No, we don't. We don't. No.
All right. Well, thank you, Dr. T. I appreciate it. For all you listening, thank you for listening and watching. Subscribe, follow, and like. Hit the notify button wherever you access the podcast. God bless and roll tide.
Roll Tide.